your game, and your game is a blue belt. All right, it's time. I told somebody a year ago when he moved up that he is now in my spotlight. And most people, when I tell them you're in my spotlight, they get a little nervous. Mike Bello was like, cool, finally, I'm in the spotlight. I want him to see what I can do. And Mike works hard, and I mean works really hard. But one of the things I was probably most impressed about, it always impresses me when I see somebody do this, because this is kind of rare. Mike entered a tournament, he actually suffered an injury. He kind of fractured his arm, and he couldn't train for 3 weeks. And rather than take a 3-week vacation, after spending 6 weeks prepping for, 6 to 8 weeks prepping for that tournament, pushing his body hard, he did a good job. Unfortunately, gets hurt. A month later, it's a chest seminar. Man, most people would be like, good opportunity to sit around and take a break. And he was in here every night with a sleeve on his arm, trying to do what he could, to take notes and still be part of the group and learn. And that's a work ethic I absolutely love to see. So Mike, you've absolutely earned this. Come get this, buddy. This next one, I don't think is going to come as a surprise to any single person in this room. If there's anybody that's ever got a hold of this stuff and said, ooh, this is my art, I like this. Every time we do our bow outs at the end of the night, and I always ask people, we did 3 hours of training, we did Kali, we did JKD, we did Jiu-Jitsu, what was your favorite thing you did tonight? Hands down, no matter what he says, he always starts with, well, you know Jiu-Jitsu is my favorite, but. So I think it's about time. Josh, come get your blue belt. Yeah. Sometimes somebody creeps up on you when you're watching other people and going like, oh yeah, they're doing really good, they're doing really good, and you roll with somebody and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, I didn't realize how far along this person is becoming. And then I think anybody, I probably had 2 or 3 people come say something to me first before I started to realize it, but people kept coming up to me and go, man, have you rolled a Jackson lately? You know your game, and your game is a blue belt game at this point, my friend. Come get it. It is. So 5 years ago, Daryl started on his journey in Boston in Jiu-Jitsu. When he first started with me, it was just for Kali. And he came out to a seminar in New Jersey. This was 2013? 13. And he comes out, and he's like, oh, I want to do the Kali. And I don't think he knew we were going to do the JKD at the time. You're like, oh, you're going to do JKD stuff? And I said, yeah. And we're going to do a little groundwork. He's like, I don't need that. I'm good. I'm good. And we had a party at his house at night. And we got talking. I says, you should really think about putting the groundwork in. He's like, I don't need that ground stuff, dude. It's cool. I'm good. I'm good. What happened on the deck that night, Daryl?
He told me you were going to cook me the same amount about 7 times. He said, how's your ground game now? I said, I could probably learn something.
And at that point, I think I was only a blue, which is really an indicator to me of like how lucky I was to have such an amazing source of jiu-jitsu to give me the details, to give me the right mindset, that I had the confidence to just be like, all right, I'm going to do the same thing, do 7 times in a row, let's go, boom. And that's exactly what happened. And then still, he's like, okay, I guess I should do grappling, but it didn't really start for him until about 5 years ago. He just really started putting the work into it. I watched him get his own school, start to form his own classes, and really start to grow. And then Joe came into the fold, and Joe started really helping Daryl with jiu-jitsu. They started working together. I remember telling Joe, hey man, I need you to get him ready. Remember that? And every time I've seen them, it's gotten so much better and so much better, and you guys really haven't had the opportunities to come on out. So what you don't know is when I saw Chet last month, I talked to him about you guys, and I said, listen, these guys aren't able to come out very often, and they're hardly ever able to get to see you, so could I promote them when I go out to Boston, because he's definitely earned it. Chet says, absolutely, no problem. And before I knew it, he calls me up and says, dude, I'm coming out to Michigan for the seminar. So Daryl and Joe. Yeah! Oh my God. Say thank you for years. Thank you. I know I'm an asshole.
Thank you, man.
Oh, I got time my belt right now. I'm a little freaking out right now. I'm shaking. It looks so pretty.
New KSK Blues.